Hey guys, how are we doing this evening? I'm JC, your host, and we have a slightly updated setup tonight. And with me is my co-host, Jolly01. How you doing, Jolly?
Evening, everybody.
Good evening. And then we've got Turin. How are you doing this evening, Turin?
Good. Howdy, howdy.
Okay, and along with us for the ride is Nomidius. There we go. There's Nomidius.
I changed. Hey, how's it going?
She's got some stuff mislabeled, I'm guessing. And then also with us is Captain of the Fighter Mafia, Josh. How you doing this evening?
I'm fantastic. I hope everyone else is.
Good. And last but definitely not least, we have Shapcap. How you doing this evening, Shap?
Hey guys, doing well. Thanks for asking.
Good. Good. Well, we threw together a show this evening. Hopefully it's pretty good. One thing I want to do real quick is give a shout out to my beautiful bride of 20 years, Jaglin. And
congratulations.
You could see that there's now actually a light, so you can see her face. And Jaglin did all the new design work that we have on the system with all the cool new graphics, and we're all in cool 16:9 boxes so that we look like we're not coming from the 80s. So her and Sam, and we put in a new mixer that allows us to control audio better. So hopefully the audio sounds better and is working great. So with that said, I think we're going to move on to segment number 1. And our first segment tonight is about the Cyclone MT. And I think we're going to watch that video really quick and show you guys in case you haven't seen this. This is the new buggy. Hey, Leaf, how you doing? So, Jolly, what do you think about the Cyclone MT?
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a Cyclone. I'm sure the same bugs the other Cyclones did. To be honest, as somebody who owns both a AA and a TR, it's like I'd rather have 2 of these than 1 each of those. So, shame on me for buying early. I should have held off, picked up a couple of these things instead.
But you can upgrade them.
Yeah, I did. I upgraded a regular Cyclone to one, then I bought one outright.
So, yeah, I completely agree. I think that what does this do? I mean, does this make Cyclone AAs and TRs completely
The only
obsolete?
thing I don't know, does the MT have an EM feature?
I don't think it
No.
does.
That will be the difference between that and an AA.
There you
It
go.
does. Go ahead.
Well, and I believe they said the MT is going to require a second person to man the missiles, whereas I think the AA, the driver, could do it.
No.
It requires a gun.
No.
It does require.
Those
Okay.
two.
Yeah.
You
Does-
dude.
The AA requires a missile. Okay, but a guy in a
Yeah.
passenger seat. He's not in the back.
2
Correct.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
2 people.
It'll
Yeah,
fit
there's no
3.
gun in the back of an AA.
It's a spot
Yeah.
to stand to get shot
What
at.
my question is, what's the purpose of the EMP for the ground vehicle?
Well, to
Maybe
EMP
keep
other
somebody
ground
from taking
vehicles.
off.
Yeah,
EMP other ground vehicles? You get close. I mean, can't you just shoot them?
the AA has an EMP for aircraft.
Yeah,
But
can
how
reach
far
them.
out does that go?
Great question.
Maybe
Yeah,
get like a.
I don't think
boom and
the
zoomer.
EMP. Yeah, I'm not. Sure, the EMP. It could be sort of like what the Harbinger has the EMP for until we have the EMP missiles on. They gave it the EMP feature. I mean the Sentinel. I'm talking about the
Sentinel,
Sentinel.
okay.
Yeah, the Sentinel.
It would
But
make sense
I
more
just
if
can't
it had a-
see. I just can't see what the EMP feature for a ground vehicle would be unless you want maybe to take out another vehicle if you're in a chase and you don't want to destroy it accidentally by shooting it, or you're rolling up side of a building and you kick it off so that the stuff inside will go out. If if you're trying to take out the electronics in there, but I don't.
Sounds like a pirate vehicle.
Or take out a combat suit, like a guy wearing
No,
a
I,
mech.
I don't think it's
suit
a
or
pirate
something.
vehicle. I mean, it could be a good infill, stealth infill. If you're going to take out like a segment of a fence line or a segment of a barrier or something like that, if you EMP it, I just think with that much discharge, whoever's watching their monitor, hopefully will probably see it. So, I mean, I really don't
Weird.
know.
All the cameras went out in this sector.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm serious. Did you see that blue
Must be-
flash
must
out the
be a
window?
glitch. Yeah.
So, Nom, do you own a Cyclone?
I bought it. Not currently. I bought them in game, but I like them well enough. It's not the first time that they've come out with a new design and it made something else obsolete or unnecessary. Right now, the question is, why does the RT exist? Well, what have they done before? You'd have that creep where weapons on ships would go up in size, And it's like, well, what about this ship? Well, that's what happened with the 300. When all these other ships started getting more powerful, they basically upped all the guns on the 300 series by a whole size. So if they want the RT to have a reason to exist, they're probably going to have to change what size weapon it carries, because otherwise it's just an MT without missiles. Otherwise it's identical, really.
So,
RT?
Cap, here's a question.
Sure.
Do the missiles on the new MT track? Are they air to air, or does that
that is a good
represent a
question.
potential
Ground air.
difference between ground versus the Cyclone AA?
Yeah, I mean, are they fly by wire? Are they like a tow missile, or are they, are they dumbfire? Can you dumbfire them into stuff?
I believe they said in the Q&A you could dumbfire them at ground targets, but you couldn't lock them.
I like the idea to dumbfire. I think I like using weapons for not what they're intended for to accomplish the job. Like using a law rocket to take out a sniper. I like things like that. So the ability to release ordnance at what you want to shoot at, whether the computer agrees with you or not, I think is an important feature. So if they have that, then that's also a selling point. But to everyone's point, what's the TR going to do now? I mean, it needs to have either a massive size 5 Gatling gun on it, or a grenade, or a grenade
launcher.
Grenade launcher, a rapid fire grenade launcher.
Or just an a size or 2 increase or something.
Size 3, size 4 would be fine.
I imagine
one of
it's
the
going to
problems
be slower.
Which one would be slower?
The new one, it's going to be slower. It's got more equipment, heavier maybe.
No, it doesn't look like it's any slower.
I think it's probably the same dynamic. But not being able to launch the missiles at a ground-based target is a problem right now, because you can't do a standoff and lob a couple missiles into a turret or lob a couple missiles onto a target somewhere. It's just you can't catch a ship sitting on the ground and lob it. I don't think.
No, you can target ground turrets now. You can do that.
Yeah, but I don't think the missile will go. Well, maybe they've changed it, but before
I've killed turrets with missiles before.
I didn't say you couldn't kill them with missiles. I said, can you launch them from the vehicle?
Then how?
Can you launch instead of using the AA missiles as AA? Can you, take a parabolic curve and go boom like that?
Don't know.
Well,
I haven't tested that.
Last time we tested it, the answer is no.
Well, I mean,
Dumbfire.
I would say missiles are a little too zippy to beat artillery, right?
Yeah.
You got to be really far away to dumbfire something in,
which isn't
and
here
arc
yet.
it.
Well, it would be nice
Line
to
of
be
sight.
able to sit a couple of these things on the other side of a ridge line, have a target that you could target, and lob them over somehow, like artillery shells.
You're gonna get Josh fired up on being able to paint targets again.
He's gonna be telling us how we need a target pod on the.
How about just a laser pointer?
We just need a paladin in the game. That's all we need to do.
Yeah, just a laser pointer with a laser code, and then I can have a targeting pod in my ship that finds it. I mean, that'll work for me.
Yeah, mechanized howitzer. That's all.
Quick,
we need.
Jay, cut him off.
Mechanized howitzer.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't.
Who
get
knows? Maybe the
started
Tonk
on
will be
that.
able to lob shells over things.
I did have 2 things to add about the
Go ahead, no.
about the MT. The ad got me looking. If you notice where it lands on the ramp, stealing from Star Trek or whatever other sci-fi you want to say they did there with the landing in the ship, jumping off the cliff. But did you see the wheel physics in that? It was basic, and they've talked about that in a previous video, like this week or last week, where they got the tires handling a bit more realistically. No more of the drift citizen thing we see going on in 312 right now. I'm real excited for that. Yeah, I'm really hoping we're seeing that soon.
Yeah, I remember that they did that recently, where the tires know the terrain type that they're on and react accordingly.
And the suspension will realistically bounce. Yeah. I'm really hyped for that if it's coming. And the other thing is, every time I see the vehicles come up, you always got people saying, well, what's the point of a vehicle? You're better off just spawning even another light fighter. The thing we haven't seen yet, there's stuff on the roadmap for it, is terrain being a factor in signature of a vehicle of something. Terrain or just environment is what it says, I think, on one of the roadmap cards. That's if it doesn't matter, saying, well, it's only got so much size weaponry if you can't see it. So you're flying in an outpost and you're not going to have the same range on a fighter as you would have one of these as far as picking it up. That's going to change their tactical advantage a lot when they can't be seen until up close. Because why would it have as big a signature as a light fighter? It doesn't have a bunch of engines, a quantum drive, all that junk.
Well, and also if you have a heavily defended area with some kind of anti-air, potentially you could send in some vehicles like this to clean it up before you send in the ships.
Which gets back to what you guys were saying about ground-to-ground attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
We really need to have that.
In the Squadron 42 vertical slice, actually part of the mission was that you had to go disable everything before you could come in. Remember, that's why he had to land. Or you, the player, had to land, was to go in and disable the AA defenses so that Mark Hamill could come and land.
Yeah.
Or the old man.
Completely agree that I see these as useful. They're small enough that you can shove them in smaller ships like Cutlasses, and I wish they had made them just a hair bit smaller so they'd fit in the back of Freelancers. That would be nice. But I view this. I do question. I think the AA still has a place. The MT pretty much kills the TR unless they change something on the TR. The other thing I'm missing is a cargo grid on these things. None of these Cyclones appear to have a cargo grid of any size.
I thought there was one.
the
regular
one.
The
The base one has a single SCU cargo.
Yep.
The reconnaissance one does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Whatever the base one is, whatever the
No, the reconnaissance
RN,
one has a big dish on top of it.
MR,
a big
whatever
plate
it's
on top
called.
of it.
whatever the base one is.
It's just Cyclone.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. But it does. It just has a big hole where a one SCU box would fit.
You can actually open it.
You can load it up actually.
Yeah. Well, you can actually open it and try to put a box down.
Let's-
It'll fall through. But
Let's not forget that Origin is also releasing 3 vehicles, one of which is a pretty big missile boat as well.
Yep.
Got a
I'm
lot
curious
more
to see how those play.
missiles on it than these Cyclones do.
Yes, definitely. And those are a little smaller and sleeker, and obviously have the curves that you would get with an Origin Mercedes-Benz class.
But I don't think
Right.
they had quite
Right.
the suspension that a Cyclone has, so you may not get as rough a terrain out of it.
Well, yeah, I'm not driving my Mercedes through a mud pile or something.
Oh,
I was just juiced when the wheels started turning. We all remember the day when the wheels didn't turn.
Yeah.
well, we've forgotten all about that one big hot thing about the Cyclone was how the tires were supposed to transform for rough terrain.
oh yeah, they're
Or-
supposed to like scallop out and
Yeah.
hang in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That just happens so fast you can't see it. It's happening. It's happening.
I don't know about the whole St. Patrick's Day green, though. I was not a fan of that green.
I'll tell you what, the Ursa, the green Ursa looks pretty snappy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shep, I got one of those. It's better than. In fact, I think in the Ursa Fortuna, no, you can't sit down. One of them you can't sit down in the back seats of the troop seats. One of the two, I can't remember which one.
You get a better gun with the Fortuna too.
But
You
the
get a
Fortuna
Gatling.
yeah, it's a much nicer ship
Mhm.
or vehicle.
So, but you can't carry anybody in the back.
No. There's troop seats in them, but in
Oh.
one of the two, I can't remember which one it is. You
It's
can't sit
broken.
in the troop seats. You can only sit in the original one, I think.
That makes sense.
It's just the mechanic doesn't work.
Somebody just
Oh,
forgot
they'll
to
fix it,
enable
hopefully.
Yeah.
the button.
They'll fix it. They'll fix it in finishing.
Yeah.
6 years from now.
Soon.
Soon, TM.